in the midst of ordinary life. Please take a breath. Let the sadness settle for a moment, like the late afternoon wind washing away the faint dust of the leaves. In this moment, please sit down. It sounds like you're sitting in front of an old Bodhi corner. We're going to talk about one thing, not new or old, but it's always the door to true peace, the root cup of bliss. It's not suffering, it's not resignation. It's a kind of quiet inner strength that persists, like rocks, like the earth. Once upon a time, the Buddha taught this lahula la. Learn to follow the behavior of the earth. People pour smelly or dirty things on the ground. The land is still quietly receiving neither joy nor resentment. Learn as well according to what the Buddha said. Learn by water, whether people use water to wash away fragrant flowers or dirt. Water is not boring. And then Buddha taught me to follow the wind. Wind blowing through fragrant flowers or trash, still holding nothing. And finally, learn to follow the fire that burns everything. No choice. I don't have eyes when I'm just a small leaf. When you hear that word, I wonder if I can be like the earth. Every time that AI says a bad word, I was miserable all day. Whenever I meet adversity, I frown resentfully. If the mind still reacts and ripples, it's not really land. It's still a small lake. When you meet the wind, granny selling rags and a rainy day wet shirt. I remember there was an old lady who was selling out of my driveway. Every morning, she sat in a quiet corner. A warm smile is common. One day it rained heavily. I saw a young visitor who was angry at something and yelled at her for missing a piece of silk. She just bent her head and wrapped another bag, then gently tell her to eat it hot. It's easy to get cold in the rain. I stood behind with tears in my eyes. It's a ring, not resignation. It's about understanding the heart of the storm, without letting the wind blow my heart. The Buddha must keep the ring. Do not contain oil. Contains the benefit of the spiritual practice Tai Chi face. To be bitter and practice well. Make Sao to ring when Tim is on fire. Remember that angry people are hurting more than you. The ring is weak. The ring is the power of the wise. He knows how to build before he destroys his happiness and his. A silence in the midst of a hasty life. You can be silent, but the mind is alive. You can ring, but your mouth is still murmuring. That's not really a ring. The real ring is when the heart is still tender in front of when I can smile, even if others try to hurt you. Let go of the knife you hold in your heart. It's when I no longer want to give back. By hard action. Grit is when you want nothing more than to lose. I no longer feel the need to prove it, because you know that happiness is not in winning. It's about peace in your heart after all. Keep the seed of patience in your heart, every day with silence and love. Then one day, you will find that the mind does not think much anymore in life. Start smiling at you. Dear, please slow down and listen to my heart as if listening to a stream, floating in the woods early tomorrow. There are times when my mind is like a bird's wings. I was tired because I had not found a safe haven. And you're probably wondering right now, how to make my heart no longer ripple alive between the lost, love, hate. The answer lies in 4 very simple words. But as deep as the ocean, these are the 4 gates of the mind that the Buddha left behind. Let me go back step by step. Be a gentle person in the midst of a turbulent life. A 4-word unconditional love. From love as the sun. Not choose AI to show, not hate AI, but avoid, is when I hope that AI is happy, even if they don't treat themselves well. Love is not waiting for a response. There is no need for a reason for inner dialogue. I have always loved only those who loved me. Then it's a non-compassionate transaction. The love of a poor mother. There's an old mother who lives in the countryside. Every morning, she cooked a large pot of white porridge on the front porch. No signs, no words for sale. Anyone who walks by hungry can scoop up an 8-ounce meal. People ask her why she didn't take the money. She just laughed. There are many people poorer than me. I can still live. That's enough, son. That's compassion. Quietly unobtrusive, but warm as a pot of white porridge in the cold morning. Two people share the suffering of others. Compassion is when you can't stand the suffering of others. You don't stand outside and turn your face away. Love not only with emotion, but also with actions. It is mercy that wants to relieve the suffering of all beings. Small question. Have you ever been quiet in front of a tired eye? Have you ever sat silently next to someone in pain without saying anything? As long as you're there, you're not pitiful. It's about deep empathy, to be with you instead of saying, let's go. The car keeper at the temple gate, there's an 8-year-old car holder at a big temple. A rainy day. I saw a trembling old man forget to wear a raincoat. Looking for a place to hide, he took off his raincoat and put it on his shoulder and laughed. It's cold, keep warm. The passerby looked at him and asked if he knew him and shook his head. No, but I feel cold. My heart hurts. I don't need a resume. No name needed. You just need a heart. I know how to suffer the suffering of others. I rejoice in your joy. Joy is a hard lesson because it's the opposite of jealousy. When others succeed, we are really happy for them. From the heart, not the mouth. Joy is to laugh for you, is to celebrate in silence. Is fun according to the joy of sentient beings' inner dialogue? Sometimes you laugh when your friends are happy. I feel bad when others are praised. If so, don't be sad. We are the people, are learning to be more tolerant every day. Glad to see you're safe. My heart is like the sun tilting in the evening, no matter how far each one goes. A small greeting is also a blessing. 4 communes let go of the last is the commune. Is when we're no longer entangled in right and wrong. Praise rather than lose. I don't hate this. I don't hate that. Discharge is when you let go without regret. Open your heart without attachment. The question is what you hold in your heart. An old word, someone used to hurt you. Something that's been going on for a long time. If you can, let go. Sadness is not weakness. Letting go is wise, because I can't fly. If you hold on to the heavy backpack of the past, dear friend, compassion and happiness, like 4 small streams, it flows through our dry hearts to calm the anger, the hurt, and the nameless regret. It's not just a scriptural teaching, it's a way of life. How to relax in the middle of life. There's too much to think about. Love is from the heart of compassion is compassion. The heart is happy. The mind knows to let go. Keep a heart like that. You'll see, even though life hasn't changed, but you're much happier. Dear, please stop for a moment. Slow your breathing and leave my heart like water after the early rain. Life. There are times when we are misunderstood, to be insulted and hurt. Maybe because of a word, a look, a silence, that my mind thunderstorm. So today, please come back with me. Listen to an old story. A story that's not just a fairy tale. It is the light of wisdom. Lit up in the darkness of anger, he breathed long before he became a Buddha, the predecessor of the Blessed One. It's a prophet called Siv. You hide in the forest. Live a frugal life. Practice patience not entangled in bare dust. No resentment, no resentment. One day the king, see interest with his entourage into the forest hunting. The party was grand, and fall asleep in the shade of the tree. When I wake up, I can't see my father. The king asked to know. They're listening to a recent fairy preach. The king is looking for a place. I see that AI also listens respectfully. The prophet was angry. Who are you? Dare to mess with my court? But the floor still sits silently without answering. King near voice. As if sitting there, the fairy answered softly as the wind. I'm practicing patience. What is patience? That can keep silence in the midst of humiliation and pain. When the mind no longer needs to prove anything, there is no scold. What can hurt anymore? The king was angry. Dare to offend the emperor? He drew his sword and cut off his hands, bleeding red cheeks. He sat still for an hour moaning. You still have a ring. I am not angry with the king. Because if I'm guilty, I have to endure like drinking orange juice. And if I'm innocent, I'm probably paying off some debt from my previous life. The king was even more angry, cutting off his hands and feet. And then the blood flowed and he sat still like a statue. "Why are you tortured like that and you still don't pedal?" The prophet replied in a compassionate voice. "I pray for all sentient beings. Even the people who are hurting me." Back to the main road. Rings like soil without dung with rubbish. Rings like water do not choose to be dirty with fragrance. Ring like fire, good and evil. Ring like the wind, through the bare incense. The story of the woman who was raped. I met an older woman once. She said that her husband left when the children were young. She doesn't hate, she just quietly feeds her children. I asked her if she wasn't angry and she smiled softly. Angry to do something. If I am angry, I will bring that anger to every meal, every child's sleep. It's not because people deserve it. It's because we choose our own peace. The ring is the one who knows. People who are hurting themselves. He is more pitiful because they lost their peace. If I can keep my mind like a lake, then I won a great battle in my life. To win my own self. Dear friend, the patience of the prophet. It's not an example for the weak. It's the top. A guiding light for those who want to go beyond reincarnation. I hate it when you ring once. You save someone from pain. When you ring for a lifetime, you save yourself from eternal damnation. Ring a little bit, your mind will be brighter. One day your life will calm down. And if the ring is forever, you're halfway to the light. Please close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine a face covered in blood by fairies. But my eyes still radiate compassion. That's the power. Is stability from a Buddha-made heart. We can be like you if you know the ring is not with silent lips, but with a forgiving heart. And a look that no longer wants more than to lose. Dear, have you ever wondered? At the Sao, in the house where Ra should be most peaceful, it's the easiest place to get angry. We can smile at strangers, but frown with husband and children. We can speak softly to outsiders, but at family dinner, my voice is as sharp as a knife. Are we easily angry with our relatives? Because I thought they wouldn't leave, but because I think so. It is easy to hurt our lovers. Love me the most. I met a mother once, sitting quietly on the steps of the temple one early morning. She told, but I said I respect him because I kept asking Han to remind me. I asked him that when he was a kid. Do you mind if she cries? She wiped her tears silently and smiled weakly. Because at that time I just felt sorry. Yes, when we love big enough, we don't mind. When our hearts are strong enough, we don't feel hurt. The family is not just a physical home. The family is the first overflow so that each one learns the ring, learn to understand love. A domestic practitioner does not need to go to the mountains. You just need a ring at every meal. Keep me safe between four walls. He was also a practitioner. I used to blame my mother Sao or scold, but then I became a mother. I understand that the more you love, the easier it is to worry. The more you worry, the hotter it gets. Should be. The ring is to look at your loved one not with a reproach eye, but with a heart that understands wounds. They never said Ra. Patience is an important practice. Who knows the ring in that house? The ring on the road. The ring in the heart. The mind is free. There is a boy. I wake up early every morning and make tea for my wife. Even though your wife is always yelling at you. People ask you if you're not angry. But I think if I hold it, the house is quiet. If I yell back, the house is in chaos. At the end of my life, I just want to be old. Someone sat down to drink morning tea. An idyllic sentence, but in it is a lifetime of patience with love. How to ring when your family is too bad. Remember, the deeper the karma. I want to ring first. Do I have to be ignored all the time? No, if you look in safety, people will respect you. If you look in resentment, people will despise you. Angry in the middle of the meal. The cold coconut is getting worse. 1,000 years of warmth. A light smile extinguished the disturbing fire. Life can have 1,000 reasons to be angry. But just one reason to love is enough to keep the house quiet. If everyone in the family learns a little ring, the house will be less angry. Tears and in the less is more peace. Make more love, more days of real peace. I want to build a roof that needs cement. Want to keep a home, need a ring, need to understand, need to love. And most importantly, I need to get a little bit of me down, let love have a place to grow. Can you hear the breeze in the river? The leaves whispering on the branches, and my heart is racing. There are days we are tired not of work, because the silent anger is gnawing from within. Life is a very small fire, but if we don't stop, it can burn us all. Burning words, burning relationships. I have burned my merit for many years. Let's sit together in silence today to better understand the pitch and learn to counteract it with the light of mindfulness. The ancients have a saying, a yard fire can consume the forest of merit. Like how long you build a house out of blocks of compassion to give alms. Then just an angry word, you throw a match in there. That's what it's all about. No need to shout, just remember to start burning. I used to think I was hot because I really believed and have to react immediately so that people don't belittle themselves. But after all my anger, my heart is empty and cold. Like a house on fire. There's nothing but ash. Anger is not strong. It's not enough peace to be silent when needed. There was a boy who used to see his father coming home from work tired, quietly sat down to eat a cup of cold rice because my mother could
Every
not
time
warm
she
up
does
in
that,
time. Your mother goes, sorry, and Bia just smiled. The rice is cold, but the love is warm. Growing up boy understands cold rice. I've never broken a home. Only angry words that make the family heal. 1,000 years of heavy words, 1,000 miles of sharp gaze. If you can hold your heart like a stream. If you are angry, then the clouds pull over to know you are playing. When the mind starts wanting to paint, I want to say give more. Want to hurt others? That's when the fire started. Should I be angry all the time? Let's look at it. Don't hold back. Even though the light of mindfulness shines on anger, understand it and let it go. The Buddha taught people who have anger. It's like someone who burns his own house and heats it. If you want to control the yard, practice compassion. Instead of being angry, ask the other person what they are in pain and act like that. Instead of reacting, take a deep breath so your mind has time to return. Who can weigh the field? The greatest winner of his life. Because winning only requires strength. When I need wisdom, someone scolded a Zen master all evening, but you still smile and don't answer. He was so angry that he didn't react. You will only answer if you give me a gift that I don't accept. Then the gift belongs to the angry AI who is the gift. If you don't accept it, it will be returned to you. Dear, maybe we can't avoid times of hurt, but we have the choice to react with fire or reconcile with compassion. The longer a person practices, not someone who recites a lot of sutras, someone who smiles at an insult. Be silent when you want to be quiet. Know how to walk safely. When others try to hold on to anger, please take a breath and wonder if I'm burning myself every day just because of a tiny cloudy yard fire. Let's put that match down today and irrigate the heart with mindfulness. Anger can't save anything. Only love can keep everything. The calmer the mind, the healthier the mind, the more blessings come. Dear, please breathe slowly right now. Let your heart settle like the lake in the morning. Let's imagine you're sitting in the shade of a tree. The light sun fell through the leaves, and the world is slowing down. But in that moment, can you hear the voice in your heart? A soft whisper, let me go. Let your heart be light. Sometimes you feel tired. Not because I did too much, but because I hugged too tight. The old things that are no longer in your hands. If you clench a handful of sand more tightly, the sand will fall if you let the sand lie still. the same. There are things in life that we keep more and more. The more you want to suffer, the more you sink. Letting go is not giving up. To let go is to understand that holding on is painful. Let go and I've held a grudge for years. Like a pebble in a shoe, it hurts everywhere you go. But I didn't take it off because I thought. Then one day I was tired. I took off my shoes and I walked softly. And I wonder why I didn't do this sooner. There's an old lady carrying 2 buckets of water a day for long distances. One side of the healing barrel, one side is cracked hemorrhoids. They asked her why she didn't change the box. She laughed softly. Along the water leak, so the flower on the side grows very beautiful. Every day I go back to see flowers. It's fun. Sometimes I let go and see life. Flowers bloom in unexpected places. The wind doesn't keep the clouds in the sky still shining. The mind doesn't keep what it once let go, walking lightly on the back of life. Should I lose? To let go is to win yourself, to win the me. Win what you want to own. Beat the beat of many lives. But if you let me lose everything, why? Losing what makes you suffer, get back what makes you safe. The Buddha did not teach us to hide from life. The Buddha taught us to live in life, but don't be tied to life. The one who knows how to let go is the one who lives wholeheartedly. Do good and let go. Love that person and let go of the bridge. In the midst of a mind as silent as the moon. In the middle of the lake, no matter the wind. A teacher pours water to his students. When the glass is full of water, you still pour it out. You smiled, and so did my heart. It's filled with worry and hope. Then you get something more you want to learn. Let go of the old me. To be happy, let go of the old. The empty mind contains light. Dear, each of us are carrying invisible backpacks on their shoulders. The angry bearer, the one who regrets. The lover is lost. The dreamer is unfulfilled, and the more tired he is. To let go is to stop. Let your free hand take something more worthy. If something weighs you down, please practice letting go a little every day. Let go with mindful breathing. Let go with a soft smile. Let go with the understanding that nothing stays forever. There's only peace of mind. One day, you'll thank me for learning to let go. Because in that moment, you stop thinking so much, stop suffering a lot, and start living a life as light as the clouds. Dear friend, if you are listening to these words, please sit down for a moment. No need to try anything. Just sitting there. It's like a flower blooming in the middle of a quiet afternoon. Life is supposed to be long, but it's really short. And most of the time we are always looking for happiness, while the real joy lie right where I am. If you know enough, you will see enough. A story about the broken cup. There was an old Zen master who lived alone on the side of the mountain. In the temple, there's only one crooked cup that's broken. Someone came to see the cup and said, "Why don't you change the cup?" The master laughed softly. This cup is chipped but still contains tea. Only the mind that doesn't know enough is missing. The words that, like a bell ringing in my heart forever. I used to have a lot but still feel lacking. Because every time you get something, I feel like I need something else. And I keep running and looking to a moment of fatigue. Looking back, nothing really makes me happy. Then I wonder what's enough. And maybe enough isn't when we have it all. It's when I'm no different. In the mantra taught by the Buddha, knowing enough is the richest of all riches. He knows enough to lie on the ground and be happy. People who don't know enough, even if you live in a barn, you still have enough. The quietest pillow. It's a cup of strength, but it's full of tea. A look at life with gratitude. Not by a comparative look. Once I saw a poor boy, half my only bread for you. The man standing nearby asked me if I was hungry. Laughing, boy, you have half. My friend is half. That's enough. I suddenly felt empty. For years I've had more than one cake. I've never seen enough like you. With tattered sandals, still legs to walk on. There is a poor thatched roof that still covers the rain. There's a meal that's better than 100 old plates. To eat in peace. Don't worry about being sad. Why is it that the more we have, the more we are insecure? Because the measured mind never sits still. How to know enough in a world always told me to have more. Learn to count what you have, instead of just looking at what other people are showing off. If a 100-year-old doesn't know enough, not someone who lives a day, be happy with what you have. Hello, dear friend. A shirt doesn't make you warm. A big house doesn't make a home. An account full of money that can't be bought. Good sleep. Only the mind knows enough to let us sleep. People who know enough are not poor. It's the richest, because they have nothing missing in their hearts. Dear, if you can hear and breathe today, you can even eat a simple meal with loved ones. That would have been a great blessing. Instead of running forever, stop for a moment, look up at the sky and look inside. I wonder if my heart has too much to be happy. I still want more to suffer. Knowing enough is not accepting poverty. It's about touching the deepest riches of a soul. Knowing enough is enough to open the door to peace. From now on, have fun with your slippers. Give thanks for 8 white rice a day, smiling when the sun shines on the door, because it's all a miracle when we stop and say it's enough. Dear, if you are tired right now, for the words through, it's better to fight right than to lose in life. Please sit here with me for a moment. We don't need to say much. Just breathe softly together. Let the silence lead us back. Sometimes saying nothing is the best way to say it. Maybe not more than losing. The deepest victory in the heart. A monk doesn't say a word. Once upon a time, there was an old monk famous for his quiet life. He doesn't preach much. He doesn't use arguments. He was asked to sit down for tea. One day, a young man came in full of arguments and books. You talk endlessly. Proof. That's what you just listened to. No judgment. When he is tired, his mouth is shut. He poured the tea and put it down. When the mouth stops, the heart wants to see the moon. Let the lake calm down. I've tried to prove that I'm right. I was hurt by a word. Just because it's not explained, I used to argue just to see that I wasn't screwed up. But after every fight, I'm not happy. Just tired and empty. It turns out that you want more than you lose. It's when we're apart from ourselves. The Buddha taught silence as a saint. It's a silent thing with wisdom. It's not for fear that we don't talk. It's not weakness that doesn't respond, but knowing that there are things that don't need words. I know a porridge seller. Every day, there's a girl who complains or speaks softly. I asked her why she didn't answer. You are not wrong. Laughing at me, the porridge is no better. And the Kier people may have their own fatigue. Silence is how you keep the sweetness in your mind, and cabbage only makes salty porridge without AI feeling full. The wind through the leaves tilted its head slightly. Silence is not weaker than man. The eyes are not. It's not to stop being angry. Silence is to avoid. Silence is a stop to not so more karma. But if I don't say people misunderstand me, why? People who have prejudices, no matter what they say, they think differently. There's only time and stability. That's the right answer. The longer you practice, the less you say. Not because I don't know, but because I don't need more. Buddha Thich Siao, when slandered, he was silent. Without justification, no objection. You understand the truth like a lotus flower surrounded by dirty mud will still rise to the fragrance itself. We do the same if our minds are clear. You need an explanation for the darkness. Dear, in a noisy and controversial world, and reason, silence becomes a privilege, a day of living. Not because I don't know. No fighting is not about giving up, because the heart no longer wants more. Because in our hearts we understand that no one wins forever with words. Only the one who can keep it safe is the real winner. So silence when needed is a kind of wisdom. Silence when pain is a powerful kind. Silence when the heart understands that it is a liberating species. Today, if you feel like telling the truth, try to sit still for a while. Hear the wind, hear your heart, and maybe in that silence, you'll hear what 1,000 words can't say. Dear, in the middle of a quiet afternoon, if there's any AI, softly sit down with you and say, happiness is not something that just happens. It's a flower that only blooms when you know how to plant a seed. Do you believe that life is short or long? It's just a garden. What to sow? Sow good, reap blessings, sow love. Reaping happiness. And we're sitting here today, not to ask for more, but to practice sowing good seeds in your heart. One day, someone asked the Lord Buddha, because some people are born rich, some people are poor and sick, the Buddha replied, for the blessing is what they have sown before. There's no natural suffering. No one is naturally happy. Everything is created by you. Some people are born poor but rich. I used to share in my previous life. There are talented people but no AI to help because the blessing of communication is exhausted. I used to wonder. I do a lot of work and still have no luck. I am good to people whose lives are still good. The problem. But then I understood. Blessing is not an instant exchange. Blessing is a silent thing until enough grace will bloom. So not to demand, but to give. Not for wanting to respond. It's because our minds are too full to hold on forever. 8 lunches at the corner of the market. I once saw a shopkeeper prepare an 8-ounce rice soup every day. I asked you to leave the AI part. She said there was an old cyclist who came by. I have no money but eat very nicely. I'm ready if you're late. I asked Miss Cho again, so you are not afraid of losing your fortune? She laughed and threw me out. Divide a piece as if sowing back to life. So an 8 rice harvests a smile. Sowing a kind look reaps a day of relief. Blessing is not silver and gold. Blessing is a gentle look every time I look. Blessings are not in the rich. God knows how to greet people in peace. How to sow blessings with easy-to-hear words, by good actions, by good thoughts. Blessing is lost. When I'm angry, I hate cursing. That's when the bliss wears off. Can a person who is not rich in money sow blessings? Of course, a smile a blessing. An act of kindness is a seed. Some people have a lot of money, but live in anxiety because there is no blessing to preserve. Some people only have a small house, but the sleep of peace-loving children. Blessed are the truly rich. Not because they have enough, but because they have enough. Know how to love. Blessing is how we make life easier. Not just for me, but for the people around me. My friend, life can bring us many surprises, happy and sad. But if you always keep in your heart a seed of blessing, Germany, wherever you go, happy flowers will bloom. So a good thing today. It's about rewriting your own future. Live more gently from now on. Say words that are easier to hear than love. Be angry less, because every time you do it, you're not just doing good. It's also reinvigorating joy for itself. So well so that when the flower blooms, the wind will bring it back. I don't need to hold on to happiness. Always come back to someone who knows how to quietly give. Dear friend, if you're in a small room right now, or listening quietly on a quiet afternoon, please take care of your worries. Let go of all worries, and come back to myself with me on a topic that seems familiar. But there is always the power of magic, dedication of merit, because there is healing without knowing how to dedicate. It's like sowing a seed and letting the sun and the wind blow it away. If you know the right direction, even a small blessing is a great blessing. The reason to return. There's a man who recites the alms mantra every day. A few years later, they still find their lives miserable, poor and sick. They went to the temple to ask the abbot, I do a lot of good. I don't see the results. He smiled and asked after every good deed, Are you committed? I just think it's done. He nodded slowly, blessing like a sower without giving, like watering the wrong root. Blessing created without direction. It's like a river without a shore. It flows forever and never comes back. I used to think that when I do good, blessings come. I've never been interested in devotion. I never knew. A soft vow to bow each time can open a big door again. Let the good karma shine. Devotion is opening the door of blessing away from the self and go everywhere. 3 types of devotion according to the Buddha's teachings. According to the Buddha, there are 3 ways. Recollection of pure birth. Bring merit towards the future. Devotion to the world of sentient beings. May all enjoy the same good fortune. The direction of the upper Bodhi. To attain enlightenment so that all beings. The direction does not have to share its blessings. It's multiplying like a lamp dividing fire by 100. The more you give, the brighter you are. I saw a mother once. Every day of the Buddha, you all vowed to me. Even if he doesn't believe in God, but I still wish him peace. Less old career, even though your child is still unkind. Or say hard words, but strangely enough. After a year, I gradually changed my mind. I know my mother better than I asked her. Why do you still persevere? For those who do not know how to receive, she just replied softly, happiness can be slow, but if I don't sow, it never comes. A good that does not keep itself sown everywhere. The wind tilts back, blessing not just to show off. The new prayer is a deep blessing. I am still not happy with my life. The old industry was as deep as a perennial tree, but the blessings sown will surely blossom. Do you need to go back every day, not more often? The easier the result is. As a gardener, flowers will bloom more beautifully every day. Is there a way for the lost? They are like boats in the middle. Charity is the wind that helps them pair the shore of peace. After every good recitation of the Buddha, alms to help AI. Just close your hand. 1. Dedicate this merit to all sentient beings. For current parents, for many lives. For the bondholder. For the one I love and the one I've always wanted. All of you have good karma. And soon enough to meet God. Dear friend, every time you do good, it is a blessing. And every time you turn around, it's one time turning that seed into a fruit tree. Do not keep your blessings to yourself. Let's give by giving. Because when your mind is open, you are also open. And you know what? It's thanks to a sincere dedication today that a loved one in your family gets a light karma. Someone who is suffering is saved, and yourself. I find joy deep in my soul. Giving back is sending love. It's about giving light to people who never knew me. I need one in the middle of the night. Dear friend, if now you're feeling that life is a little heavy, you find that what you do seems useless, you find yourself trying but no one notices, please, in this moment, come sit down with me, take a slow breath, and listen to something that seems so simple, but it's the root of all deep happiness in life. Being grateful is not a cliche. It's a state of consciousness of the soul. Is that when we find ourselves alive, it's a gift. Seeds of gratitude in the ground. Once upon a time, there was a little boy living in the temple. A cold, rainy morning, he walked out into the yard wearing tattered sandals. The abbot gave me a new pair of sandals. Tell them to bring it in. I bow my head and thank you. He smiled and said, thank you is good. Learn to live like a grateful person. Don't hurt the new slippers. Don't leave it wet for long. Don't take it for granted. Tim is warmer than a pair of slippers. From there, I take care of every little thing in the temple. With a grateful heart, gratitude is not in me. What we say is how we live after we receive something. I used to get a lot from parents, friends, teachers. People who help themselves owe one request, and I've also forgotten who opened the door for me, who has quietly sacrificed, until I sat down in the middle of a quiet afternoon and hear a long ringing bell in my heart. I'm grateful for more than just being polite. It's the core of personality, the depth of consciousness. He who is grateful is close to heaven. Someone who is ungrateful, that person is close to the line of insanity. No one is richer than someone who lives with gratitude. No one is poorer than he who is ungrateful for what he has. There was a man. Every time I go home, I cook rice. Even though you are old enough to have a job, One day he was in a hurry to eat and left without saying anything. I just quietly cleaned the dishes. But that day she was burning for her mother. I don't need to give thanks, I just need a grateful look. Some people owe their whole lives. It's not because they help us big. It's because they quietly loved me in very small things. Grateful for not waiting for 8 white rice. A sweet word. Gratitude is not for being poor. Is when Tim knows how to bow even though he's rich. How to cultivate gratitude every day. Take a closer look at what is normal. The glass of water you are holding. Your eyes are seeing the breath you're breathing in. It's all grace. If others are ungrateful to me, why? Don't be sad. It's your job to be grateful. Blessing is in your heart. It's not in the response of others. People who live with gratitude are the nicest. Because they don't ask, they have fun with small things. They know how to appreciate what others ignore. Gratitude is a form of positive energy, a warm atmosphere that attracts happiness. Raise the blessing. They live without resentment, because they know this life, being with you, is a blessing. If you can hear France today, there's food, there's someone next to me to call out. Please live with gratitude. Because who's grateful that person doesn't see lack? Because who is grateful that he walked anywhere blessed Theo to get there? Because who is grateful that person keeps the light in his heart? Even if life outside Kier is getting dark from now on? Don't just say thank you by mouth. Be thankful by living. Live kinder and softer. Love people more than understand life. Because when the grateful mind blooms, your life will smell. Not because you're rich, but because you're full in every breath. Dear, if you are sitting alone right now, or listening quietly in a slow afternoon, please keep everything in your heart. Let it down a little. No need to think about big things. No need to ask for more. Just sit here, walking through the little things together, where peace still dwells silently, where small things become great blessings. Someone once asked the Zen master, I want to make sure my mind is at peace. The master did not answer, just quietly pouring tea, a small cup of water. The smoke smells good. He handed a cup of tea to the questioner and said softly, peace lies in this moment where a cup of warm tea, where a mindful look, where your breath just passed without realizing it. I used to run so fast. I used to think I'd have to do a lot to deserve it. You have to earn a lot to be successful. But then in the midst of the chaos, I suddenly lost my real life. Our passing in very small things. A soothing sunny morning, a bird singing on the shelf, a mother's warm fist. A simple but full meal. That's what we pass by. Until there is no regret. Life is not without worries, but the heart can be less heavy. If we slow down, a thread of incense smoke is the whole afternoon. A glass of warm water is enough for comfort. How to live slow in a fast world? No need to leave the street. No need to go up the mountain. Just practice pausing a little bit in between. Instead of rushing to eat, chew slowly and feel the taste. Instead of listening at work, take a few minutes just to listen with all your heart. Does slow living make you inferior? Slow living is choosing to go deeper instead of faster. Put your heart into everything, instead of just finishing it. There's an old couple. Every morning, the husband poured his wife a cup of tea. She asked, why do you have to do that every day? He replied, because I don't know the day I won't have a chance to do this little thing again. It's like a bell. 3 small things to do with love. It's a big thing. Many people live in a hurry but forget to live. Every morning in a hurry afternoon. Every meeting is just a glimpse. We've traded our presence to run for fame. Trade peace for being busy with anxiety. But peace, my friend, it's not at the end of the road. It's in every step you take if you know how to stop. An unhurried afternoon with a full breath. A gentle gaze. Just a slow word. Enough to make life less cold, think less and be less hurt. Dear, you may be carrying a lot of worries. Maybe you're going through a tiring day. But please remember, life doesn't require you to do everything. If you're really there in what I'm doing, slow living is not running away. It's about living deeply to understand life better. Being slow is about loving the little things to nourish a big heart. Because after all of this, what people remember about a person, it's not how much you've done. It's about whether you were ever really present, with love or not. Let's slow down a little from today. Speak a little more softly. Listen a little deeper and you'll see. Peace is always there, just waiting for you to come in. Dear friend, if you're feeling down right now, maybe it's not sad. It's your mind slowing down, like the water after the wind. It's a beautiful sign, because when the mind is quiet, you'll hear a call from within. We've come a long way from learning rings. Practice compassion to overcome anger to let go. Slow down, all not to be someone else, but to come back to myself. A returning practitioner, a practitioner after many years of study, to go around listening to Dharma practice in all kinds of ways. At the end of his life, he returned to the old temple roof, quietly sweeping the yard, cooking rice, irrigating plants. Someone came to ask, after years of searching, have you found the truth? He laughed softly and replied, I've been everywhere. Just to understand that enlightenment is not far away, not in the big things. It starts with a small step. Put in the present with deep mindfulness. I used to think enlightenment was a great thing. Is to achieve a state of transcendence. You have to read a lot of books. But then one morning, as I sat by the doorstep watching the sun drop on the leaf boat, I suddenly understood that I was enlightened. Is when I'm really there in that simple moment. Don't worry, don't fight. No need to prove anything. You don't have to go back. It stops in the middle of the moment. Not looking, for I have not lost my heart, but I have been far away. You know what? We live almost all our lives, but sometimes I never really live with myself. We live in the expectations of others, alive to be recognized. Live not to lose. It's like running forever without knowing where you're going. But when your mind stops, right here, right now, then a light footstep, it can also bring you back to yourself. How to know if you are lost from yourself. 4. When you are tired without knowing why. When you laugh and your heart is empty. When you do too much and you don't see enough. That's how you come back when you've gone away from yourself. With a deep breath, a mindful meal. A quiet sitting session. Don't do anything. Just to listen to yourself. I've been through a poor countryside. I saw a silver-haired woman. Every morning walk slowly along the field. I asked her where she was going. She laughed back. I'm not going anywhere, just to remember that I'm still breathing. Being alive is fun with heaven and earth. A step not to get anywhere, but to stay with me. Dear, after all you've learned, the things you try, the beautiful words you read, it's all just to lead you back to the real breath, back to the life that's going on, back to the kindness that comes with it. You don't have to paint yourself. No need to try to be someone else. And that journey of enlightenment, it doesn't start with the temple. No need for light. It just takes a small step to slow down with an empty and grateful mind. Going back does not mean going back. It's stopping to see that I've gone far enough. And the place I need most is the one I left long ago. Peace of mind in yourself. Dear, if you're still sitting there, silently walk through each word with me. Please sit down for a moment. There's no need to do anything, just to sit still like a flower closing its wings in the afternoon. We don't need to talk much right now. Because what needs to be said is understood. It's not dry lectures. It's the breathing, the steps, pieces of mirror that reflect your own life. where you realize you've been angry. I have loved every suffering. I wanted to let go, being away from yourself and yourself, who is walking back, very light, very real, back to the peace that is in your heart. I remember once visiting the temple late in the afternoon. I met an old man sitting on a pedestal looking out at the meditation shore. I asked him if he was meditating. Head shaker. I just sat there listening to the wind. Listen to your heart after years of noise. There are times when there is no need to recite the Buddha. Just sit still and come back. We're always running after a lot of things. Right reputation is wrong, more angry than losing, and then one day I breathed. But I don't know where I'm going. In the parts you've been through, ring not to burn yourself. Let your heart not dry up. Let go so as not to embrace what is old. Know enough to stop the endless desire. Silence to hear the call back. How to make life less miserable. Don't run anymore. Sit back, breathe softly, know enough and love people. To keep your mind safe in the midst of life's many fluctuations. Choose to slow down? What to do? I also put love and awareness into it. Even washing a glass is good, if you wash with gratitude. Peace does not come from outside. You see life with your own eyes, bathed in the light of mindfulness. Light your own torch and take France as your light. Rely on yourself. Don't rely on anything else, Buddha. And maybe after the last string of words, you recognize the torch. It never turns off in you. Just sit back and look inside. Now, please close your eyes and take a deep breath. Holding that breath is like holding a lotus flower in your heart. Then breathe out slowly, like a yellow leaf floating in the autumn stream. Let your mind sink in silence. It's not a sad silence. It's a silence full of life. Maybe what we've been looking for all our lives. It's what has always been in me. The full presence. True life is unconditionally peaceful. If the speech, this can help you stop a little in the midst of a busy life. Soften a beat in the midst of thoughts. I would like to bow my head. Thank you for choosing to sit together in this moment. The Master like Sia Manu and I Buddha, may you always be kind enough to live a light life. Live real life, and if tomorrow you forget the way back, just sit back and breathe and smile and the way back will open.